San Francisco Giants winning the most games ever? I don't think so. Good morning, everyone. Today is an eventful day. That's why you're here, I guess. But we do have some of our regulars. Thank you for being here, all of you. As you know, we had a full agenda this week that involved, first of all, keeping government open. Right now, a little bit later this morning, the Senate will be voting on a continuing resolution, which they will send back to the House, which we will pass and send on to the government, to the President, to keep government open. We hope that this can be a strongly bipartisan bill because it keeps vital services running, protects up to hundreds of thousands of workers from furloughs, and protects the economy from shutdowns. A shutdown is not anything anyone wants. It was never thought that we would have one, but nonetheless, it will happen today. Yesterday, as you know, in the House, we voted. The other item on the agenda for this week was lifting the debt ceiling, and I was very pleased that we were able to send that legislation back over to the Senate. You know how cataclysmic that would be. It would trigger the loss of 6 million jobs, $15 trillion in household wealth, 4% decline in GDP, and massively increased costs. Any of you have a car loan, a home mortgage, a credit card bill, all of your interest rates would go up. And I'm worried about that across the kitchen tables across America. Only 3% of the debt that we are talking about here is incurred under the Biden administration. And this is about, not as we go forward, this is about paying the bills. The way you have to pay your credit card bill, so does America. As I've said to you before, the 14th Amendment says the full faith and credit of the United States of America should not be in doubt. For some reason, we've put ourselves in a situation to vote on this each year. We'll have to examine that process. But for now, yesterday, I was very proud of the members once again lifting the debt ceiling. As you recall, we had done so the week before with the continuing resolution to keep government open, and 100% of the House Democrats, and then 100% of the House Democrats voted. The Democrats voted for it. The Republicans voted against it. 100% of the Republicans in the Senate voted against lifting the debt ceiling and keeping government open, even though many of them in the House and the Senate had families in their districts suffering from Hurricane Ida, many of them wanting to help the Afghan evacuees in our country. Nonetheless, they thought it was a good idea to vote no. Hopefully today on the CR, they will vote yes. And I'm hoping that it will be a very positive bill. So I know you've come here about what else comes next. We have two items that were, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, the BIF, and of course the reconciliation. I just told members of my leadership that the reconciliation bill was a culmination of my service in Congress because it was about the children. Their health, it's about health, their education, the economic security of their families, a clean, safe environment in which they could thrive, and I guess a world at peace in which they could succeed. This is more about the domestic first poor parts of that. So remove all doubt in anyone's mind that we will not have a reconciliation. We will have a reconciliation bill. That is for sure. Today the question is about, we are proceeding in a very positive way to bring up the bill of the BIF, to do so in a way that can win. And so far, so good for today. It's going in a positive direction. It's impossible, though, to persuade people to vote for the BIF without the reassurances that the reconciliation bill will occur, and it will. And that we cannot, because of rules of the Senate in terms of parliamentarian having to pass on any bill before it comes to the floor and pass on any language, we cannot really guarantee what I'd hoped in terms of having a more legislative form, but nonetheless, the framework that if it's okay with the President of the United States, who has this vision for our country. As I've told you before, he said, I want to work on the bipartisan bill for infrastructure, but I will not confine my vision for America to what is in there. We have to build back better, and to do so in a way that honors our climate goals, honoring our responsibility to our children to convey this planet in a responsible way, that does so, that respects the needs of, not needs, the opportunities for working families with issues. So all jobs, green technology, jobs for women in the workplace, dads who may need home help. All the things, child tax credit, child tax care, child care issues that relate to universal pre-K, home health services. If you have a senior or person with disabilities in your home, some of you know this, you've heard it every time you come here, but I just want to make sure that it is reinforced as to why this is important, because it's jobs for women, it's jobs for people who have been previously underrepresented. Build back better. So when you build the infrastructure of America, you're doing so with a workforce that has workforce development, can be involved in those decisions, and it has a justice to it that the president has insisted upon, that we're not building in ways in the past that have separated communities and perpetuated environmental injustice, but instead build back better with justice. And then, of course, the health care issues, which are so important, the extension of Medicaid, the strengthening of the Affordable Care Act, expanding of benefits for Medicare, all of that as part of the health piece, and those are jobs as well. So, again, I think we're in a good place right now. We're making progress. I can't stay here too long because I have to deal with step by step with this, but I'm only envisioning taking it up and winning it.
Madam Speaker, I don't have to tell you, you've got a Senate problem on your hands. Joe Manchin said last night that the reconciliation bill is the definition of fiscal insanity. He talked about vengeful taxes. Does that sound like someone who's open to further negotiation? And how do you get something pre-conference how do you move forward with that on the other side of the Democratic Party?
Well, we're talking about substance. We're not talking about rhetoric, and we're not even talking about dollars. We're talking about what is important in the legislation. Where can we find our common ground? If I paid attention to everybody's public statements, oh my goodness, even some that maybe you inadvertently make that are not quite on point. But he said some other things after that said, I'm for reconciliation. And did you see that further?
Is he saying something privately then to you or to the president that gives you more hope that can move forward?
You think I'm going to talk to you about my conversations with Joe Manchin in here? If you promise not to tell anyone.
You've had a conversation with him?
Look, I think that Joe Manchin is a great member of the Senate. We're friends. We're Italian Americans. We get along. Catholic. We have shared values. I have enormous respect for him. I had one of the joys of my service in Congress was to work with him to make sure we had the health benefits and pension benefits for our mine workers. Not that I think clean coal is anything but, nonetheless about that. But I do believe in the workers, their needs, and the rest, and we did that at the end of last year, working together. So we have our common ground. Yes. Okay, you because you come.
Just to clarify your intentions on this vote today, are you planning on delaying this vote if you do not have enough votes to pass this on the floor?
I do not plan on not doing anything. I plan on moving forward in a positive way, and everybody has to think that this is the path we're on. It's not a fork in the road, maybe here, maybe there. It's a path that we're on. And right now, as I've said, we had a great morning, lots of conversations as we come to the end. Let me just tell you about negotiating. At the end, that's when you really have to weigh in. You cannot tire. You cannot concede. This is the fun part.
Was it September 27th date? Is that a problem negotiating that September 27th date? Was that a mistake?
No. Well, it's important to note that in the reason we could agree to that is because in the bill is all of the reauthorization for highway programs and the rest of that. So our best interest is served by passing this bill today.
Madam Speaker,
Okay, okay, what do you got?
Thank you. I'm not going to ask you about the Giants, but I. So when you
Don't take blue for any mistake for the Dodgers, okay?
Dodger Blue.
No, no.
When you talk about these concerns, and I know here I'd ask you about Senator Manchin, but when Senator Sanders says, well, I think they will blow up the bill on the floor today, the progressives say they got 50 votes here. What do you say to the left of your caucus and the moderate centrists in your caucus to get them together and both feel that things haven't gone the way they want?
We're on a path to have something that I can say to my colleagues with integrity and certainty is the path we're on. And in terms of timing and the rest, I wish we had more time. I will say that. In terms of, we only found out a week and a half ago. Over 95% of my caucus supports the 3.5. As a week and a half ago, it was all systems go, 3.5, the president, the leader in the Senate. So we're having to compress a lot of our discussion here. But I can't say anything to them until we have an agreement. When I say I mean the president, the Senate. We have to have an agreement together. I think that the path we are on is leading to that agreement.
But Madam Speaker,
Yes, ma'am.
will that happen before the end of the day?
That is the plan. Is that plan? Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
To follow up on Manny's question, are you committed to having a vote on infrastructure today,
Yes.
regardless of whether you have the vote?
I intend to. We're on a path to win the vote. I don't want to even consider any options other than that. That's just the way it is, and that's our culture. You don't understand that culture, you don't understand that culture. But that's our culture. We go in it to win it. Okay? Okay, one more.
Yesterday you told us that the Democratic caucus is not a rubber stamp.
That's right.
But you guys have such a narrow majority in 8 seats
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now. It's
yeah.
only able to lose 4 votes on the floor. You're going to pass the 2 biggest spending bills of this Congress possibly. Have you bit off more than you can chew at this point? Are you confident
No.
you can get this across?
No. Do you think that when we came in with the majority that we have, well, we have to remember we had more, but we had Marcia Fudge as the Secretary of HUD. We're waiting for her replacement to come in another 4 weeks. We had Elsie Hastings, who passed away. We're waiting for that replacement. But from what I infer from what you say is that we should have just done nothing because we had a slim majority. That's not who we are. No, but that's what you said. If you think you shouldn't do these things because you have a slim majority. No.
Perhaps the packages are too big.
No, it's not too big. No, it's not too big. In fact, it will be a compromise. But it is, let's recall what our President Biden, has put forth. He put forth the rescue package. For us, it was a great victory because it had the essence of the HEROES Act that we tried to get through with the former president. And now it's in that package with, of course, imbued with vaccinations, which made a difference in it. And now we have a couple hundred million vaccinations in people's arms, people back to work, children back to school, money in people's pockets because of that bill. State and local governments reinforced to do their job, honoring our heroes who work there, the ones who provide our health care, food service, our transportation, police and fire, our teachers. Would we not do that because we only had a few votes? No, we definitely did. And then we go to this legislation now, the BIF, which has the bipartisan support in the Senate. I don't know if we'll have bipartisan support in the House. They say there may be a few. I understand there's some dynamic going on the other side, but I don't know it and can't speak to it. But maybe we'll have some Republican votes. I hope it is as bipartisan as it was in the Senate. And then we go to the Reconciliation Act, which is the Build Back Better with women, just build back better, not and addressing what many of our members have concerns about. They said every time people build, our people suffered in our neighborhoods. Well, that's exactly what President Biden wants to change, and we will. And no, it's not too ambitious because we're meeting the needs of the American people, and what that is what our agenda will be. Oh, you?
Yeah.
I didn't recognize you without your mask.
Well, I just took it out so you can hear me better. You said this is the culmination of your time in Congress.
Yes.
I mean, you try, culmination means the end of an experience.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Not me.
Yeah, no, but of course, the Affordable Care Act was remarkable, and I take some proprietary interest on that. But in terms of finally seeing a time where we can think in a large way about our children, our people with disabilities, our moms. I mean, I'm a mom with 5 children. When I was young and was raising my children, people don't know this is a challenging job, even 1 child or 2. I didn't even wash my face some days. In fact, I liked it that way. But but the fact is that we have to, if we're going to be really building back better, we have to give women the opportunity to work in the workplace, and that's about child care, home health care, universal pre-K, family and medical leave, and like that. And other countries, most developed countries, have that. We don't, we will. And that is, each one of those is something we fought over the years for, and now it's coming together in a way that is transformative, not incremental, but transformative to what we're doing on the infrastructure side of things. They go together very well. And then when we talk about the planet, when I was speaker the first time, climate was my flagship issue when I came in, and President Bush was president, and we did not, with him, we passed the biggest energy bill in the history of our country, the energy bill of 2007. He wanted nuclear, I wanted renewables. We had a big celebration to sign the bill, and President Obama used as authorities in that bill for some of his executive orders, so that we take it to this place now in this legislation. It's about jobs, good green jobs, preeminent in the world in green technologies, addressing the health issues of clean air, clean water for our children, the issues of, as I've said to you before, about national security globally, where migrations occur because of drought and famine and natural disasters, so people are competing for habitat and resources, and of course our moral responsibility for our children. So it has so many, so they have that. And then health care, as I said, the Affordable Care Act. I take great pride in the courage of the House Democrats and Senate for passing that legislation, and we will strengthen it in this bill. And part of the Affordable Care Act was the expansion of Medicaid, which we will have in this bill. So this is, I mean, it's so much, and that's why I said that. Yeah. You got it? You got it? Thank you all very much. It's going to be a eventful day. Perhaps I'll see you along the way. Hi. So I'll see you along the way. Think positively. Okay?
Thank you.
I think it goes this way.